One of the best things you can do for yourself is judging yourself by the standards you have set for yourself for your future. One of the things that I started doing recently is thinking of who am I going to be in 5, 10, 15 years? What do I hope to accomplish in that future? What goals and aspirations do I hope to get to? What personality traits do I wish to have and not have? And I curate that person in my mind. And once I have that person in my mind, I act as if that person is right in front of me right now. What am I going to do in this exact moment from whatever situation or problem that I'm being presented with? And how do I hope to address that situation in a way that will emulate as close to that person that I curated in my head for 5, 10, 15 years in the future from now? I feel oftentimes we often judge ourselves based off of the standard that we have for ourselves in that moment and for our current circumstances. But in order for us to improve and self motivate and self improve to the point that we want to become whoever we want to be in the future, we need to judge ourselves based off of the standards that we have for ourselves for our future self. And we really have to be farsighted and think about ourselves about what do we want in the future, how are we going to get there, and we're not going to self improve and motivate ourselves to actually develop into those people that we want to become unless we are looking towards the future and not looking to what we're doing in this exact moment. You have to remember that yourself in the future is what you're trying to motivate yourself to become, and you can't progress to become a better person if you're not looking towards the future. So my call to action for you guys is to really think to yourself, where do you see yourself in 5, 10, 15 years? I feel like that was a question that I oftentimes hated hearing, and I was just like, I'm just trying to finish and accomplish this goal I had for myself in 1 year. I'm not even really trying to think about what I'm trying to do in 5, 10, or 15 years. But if you're not thinking about that in any sort of time in your life and you're only thinking of things in the short term sense, you're really limiting yourself as to whatever potential you have for the future and laying that foundation down early to try to get to that future self. And it's not only until you do that that you can actually succeed in doing that certain aspect to try to reach your future self. So really try don't to limit yourself for your future self. Try to set that standard early so you can start laying the foundations. Rome wasn't built in one day, and you trying to get to yourself and what your future self is like in the 5, 10, or 15-year future, you have to start laying down those foundations early, often, and diligently. And if you start building those habits early, it's really hard to build those habits. So you really need to start building those habits early so you can actually feel comfortable enough to progress the different stages in your life. And one thing that I feel like this will help me is that I feel that it will help me become a better parent for my future children, for my future grandchildren, being a better role model at work and at the home and the church, whatever. I feel that doing this sort of action will really help me for the future. And it's not until I actually judge myself for my future standards that I will become that person who I'm really meant to be. So I hope this is a message that you guys take to heart. I hope this is a message that you guys start trying to implement in your own lives. And I promise you, if you judge yourself on your future self standards, you'll become that much closer to your future self and what you hope to be. Peace.